To be able to go from Bridgerton and then to go straight into a sweeping gay love story in this way is just the first step.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're delving into Jonathan Bailey's career route from the West End to Hollywood, covering his roles in Bridgerton, Wicked, and Jurassic World Rebirth.
Come on, follow me. You'll be happy to be.
Before he was Lord Anthony Bridgerton, Fiyero, or Dr. Henry Loomis, Jonathan Bailey was treading the boards on London stages. In the mid to late 90s, he was spotted during a ballet class and recruited to the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Growing up, he played the role of theater kid, not pushed by his parents, he says, but by his own passion for acting, singing, and dance.
He later made his West End debut as Gavroche in Les Miserables. He worked steadily through the 2000s and 2010s, moving between stage, film, and TV, with roles in titles like Broadchurch, Chewing Gum, St. Trinian's, and Heartstopper.
You're a big inspiration to me.
That is so lovely to hear. Classics was my favourite at school. What's your name?
Charlie.
Well, Charlie, study hard, and don't ignore your Latin vocab.
In 2019, he won an Olivier Award for playing Jamie in Marion Elliott's gender-swapped revival of Company. Honestly, his performance of Getting Married Today alone made him a worthy winner.
Pardon me, is everybody there? Because if everybody's there, I want to thank you all for coming to the wedding. I'd appreciate you going even more. I mean, you must have lots of better things to do, and not a word of it to Paul. Remember, Paul, you know the man I'm getting married, but I'm not, because I wouldn't ruin anyone as wonderful as he is.
Sure, he's been working since the 90s, but the 2020s have catapulted him into a whole new league of stardom. Beloved by fans across genres, on stage and on screen. As he told The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "It's hard to express how surprised I was every step of the way."
Words of flattery are beautiful and sweet, but they are also hollow, unless accompanied by action.
Of course, his big breakout came in 2020, when he sent hearts racing as Lord Anthony in Bridgerton. And believe it or not, he almost passed on it. He was deep into Company when he got the Bridgerton script and was ready for a break. He even passed it to a friend, thinking they might be a better fit. But his agent pushed him to audition anyway.
It is because I've never met anyone like you. It is maddening how much you consume my very being.
Surprisingly, the part he read for was not Anthony but Simon Bassett. After Company, he still took that well-earned break and headed to the West Coast, where he also met the production team, and the rest is history. He already stood out in Season 1, but Season 2 is where he fully captured hearts and sent pulses racing. He gave Anthony depth, intensity, and emotional weight.
I know I am imperfect, but I will humble myself before you because I cannot imagine my life without you.
His ability to show heartbreak, desire, and restraint, often just through a glance, didn't go unnoticed. Plus, he could still be incredibly funny. And let's just say it as it is, his sex appeal didn't hurt either. Kate wasn't the only one falling for this Viscount.
Seems the two of us are finally seeing eye to eye on something.
I suppose we are.
But having the world collectively swoon over him wasn't the only reason Bailey stood out as a romantic lead. When was the last time you saw an openly gay man play the straight love interest? Exactly. This was huge.
You were the bane of my existence. And the object of all my desires.
He showed the industry and audiences that being part of the LGBTQIA+ community doesn't mean you should be boxed into certain roles. As Bailey has pointed out, it wasn't long ago that queer actors were dismissed as not believable in straight roles, and routinely lost out on queer ones to straight actors.
Someone said to me, would you have been able to play a straight lead or a gay character in a romantic series? What would feel more possible at the age of 12? I probably would have said a straight lead.
The tides finally were shifting. In 2023, he starred in Fellow Travelers, which followed two gay men living through the turbulence of the mid to late 20th century. Bailey said that he, quote, had looked for a sweeping gay love story, but they were scarce, so when this opportunity came along, he knew he had to take it, saying, "I know I'll be proud of it for the rest of my career."
As a gay man, I felt like I've been hunting and sniffing this out for so long.
Then, just a few years after becoming virtually every Netflix user's boyfriend, Bailey was charming moviegoers as Fiyero, Prince of Winky Country, in Wicked.
I'm Fiyero, Tigler. Winky Country.
Oh, Oz.
Coming off Bridgerton, the role felt especially meaningful in a show long embraced by queer audiences for its themes of identity and otherness. His recent role in Fellow Travelers was another reason this felt all the more poignant. As a performer, Bailey proved he was anything but genuinely self-absorbed and deeply shallow, although boy could he act those qualities brilliantly. Director John M. Chu praised his fearless commitment to every idea, no matter how ambitious or ridiculous.
What I love about Johnny, the reason we have him in this movie, is you have to have a fearless actor, somebody who is not scared of making a fool of himself, trying, playing. It is at the core of who Fierro is.
Meanwhile, audiences were drawn to his charm, cheekiness, emotional depth, and, of course, his chemistry with, well, everyone. Apparently, even casting agents and the like have noted his likability factor as just one reason they want to work with him. No wonder there's a running joke that he could have chemistry with anyone, maybe even a dinosaur.
Make the world go away. That's what you feel when he looks at you.
Which brings us to our next point. Yes, Bailey broke a huge barrier, and now he's doing it again, co-leading Jurassic World Rebirth alongside Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali.
Sorry, what mission?
In fact, it was apparently Bailey's gravity-defying performance in Dancing Through Life that made Universal Studios think he would be the perfect fit for the Jurassic franchise. He's fully aware of the weight on his shoulders, but based on what we've seen so far, it's clear he's more than ready to own it.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
When you look at the franchise's past leads, Bailey might not have been the obvious pick. But honestly, he's a powerhouse talent who makes keeping audiences hooked look effortless. And his hold on them goes way past a certain pair of thirst-worthy glasses.
I'm thrilled that people are they're having a hormonal explosion linked to optical supports. But I think, yeah, glasses can go a long way. So let's have the summer of slutty little glasses.
He's proving there's no role out of his reach, moving seamlessly from romantic lead to action adventurer. Indeed, this role is exactly that. A proving ground to show he can hold his own in Hollywood, especially since some giants in the biz are still skeptical over his ability to headline. Sharing the screen with heavyweights like Johansson and Ali, and the film's predicted massive opening weekend will put his star power to the test. From where we stand, he's already shown that no matter the setting, he always gives a dynamite performance.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs. Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
What makes his rise so exciting is that it's not the same overnight success story. It's a slow burn turned supernova. He didn't go to drama school, didn't land a flashy debut. Instead, he's been steadily stacking credits since childhood and honing his craft on stage and screen, long before most people could pick him out of a lineup.
Oh, she is one of the people that has, obviously given me incredible opportunities, but also just sort of kept me honed in on the craft, I guess.
He moves seamlessly between Shakespeare, Sondheim, and Regency-era drama without breaking a sweat, or losing any of his trademark charm. His backstory makes his current stardom feel earned rather than manufactured. What sets him apart even more is how deliberately he steered his own career. As we've mentioned, Bailey has often spoken about pushing back against industry expectations, especially as a gay actor.
Because of a digital age where we hear more opinions, for better or for worse, I think people are allowed to question their expectations that are put on them.
He's also been vocal about the work it took to avoid being boxed in, and how determined he was to resist typecasting. He's carved out a path on his own terms, and hopefully created space for others while doing it. He often points to Bridgerton as a game changer, praising the show for giving a platform to people usually excluded from period dramas.
There are no limits to where Bridgerton is going to go in terms of allowing people to be seen. And so that's why I think when people enjoy Bridgerton, it's a success and it's a celebration for all of us. It's a reflection on how we are moving as a society.
It seems that no matter how high his Hollywood star climbs, the theater will always be his homecoming, though. He recently starred in Cock in the West End, a play about a gay man experiencing a crisis of identity and desire after meeting a woman.
Super resonant and even more prescient now with the conversation about labelling and gender and how that's changing in a really fascinating way.
He earned critical acclaim and drew such intense crowds that local authorities reportedly issued a noise complaint over the scenes at the stage door.
So it feels like, we've sort of got our war paint on, we're reclaiming the theatre and hopefully gonna do everyone proud.
He followed it up with Richard II at London's Bridge Theatre, bringing Shakespeare to a fresh audience while still impressing the purists. He's not planning on stepping away from Bridgerton either. As long as he's wanted and it fits into his schedule, he's in.
He says, I look forward to, in another however many years, when we've done the 8th season, to sit around and be like, look what we all did together.
Then again, he reportedly filmed Bridgerton, Fellow Travelers, and Wicked all around the same time. Bailey stays grounded, no matter the project. For him, it's about how the work connects with people on screen or on stage.
I've been thinking.
Yeah, I heard it.
About the line coven, Dr. Dillman. I think about that day a lot.
So do I.
He's even spoken about how emotional he felt filming a scene opposite a makeshift dinosaur on the Jurassic set for the first time. In every role, he brings exactly what the moment calls for. That balance of sincerity, instinct, and versatility is what makes his rise feel not just well-earned, but genuinely electric.
I could get used to such long journeys if every return was like this.
What kind of roles would you like to see Jonathan Bailey take on next? Let us know in the comments.
I love the idea of playing a real person. So to follow someone and study a real life person and to see about how you can sculpt a character.